Enough of this, Logan warned himself. Let's get on with the job. Fill up with coldness and hate. Build the image of a jackal, a warped coward running from justice. Weak, spineless, selfish, living beyond his time. Chase, capture, and kill. Logan watched the follower as one of the tiny light dots neared his position. Doyle should come out of the lift now. The man stepped into view. Logan brought up the gun. He caught a white, shocked face in the sights. It would be an easy shot, a clean kill. In that moment, Doyle saw his danger. He tried to back into the lift. Logan had him. Before Doyle could take cover, the heat-sensing element in the Homer would seek him out and destroy him. Logan's finger curled on the trigger. He hesitated. That brief hesitation cost him the shot. Doyle was in the lift, headed down. Logan swore tensely. What had gone wrong? Why hadn't he gunned the man? On the scope, he watched the dot descend 2 levels and head south. Once again, Logan moved to cut the runner off. He dropped 3 levels, circled to the front of the slope ramp, waiting. This time he would not miss. When Doyle appeared, he was holding a human shield, a girl, 10 or 11. Struggling in Doyle's arms, she reacted in terror as she saw the DS man. Logan flipped the chamber to Tangler and fired the charge. Doyle flung the girl forward into it. The blast of silver threads enveloped her, clouding over her upper body in a tight webbing. Already Doyle was running again. A paravane was cruising the area, and Logan alerted it. The police would bring the delicate equipment needed to soften and dissolve the threads without harming the girl. Logan put her out of his mind. The dot was ahead. The main thoroughfare was thick with citizens. Among them, moving away, was Doyle. No good trying to fire a Homer in this press of bodies, too dangerous. There was always the chance that an onlooker would step in front of the charge and divert its course. To a Homer seeking a normal 98.6 in body temperature, one man was like another. Logan would have to be certain of his shot. The only sure way to take out a runner in a packed crowd was to walk directly up to him, jam the gun in his stomach, and fire. But Doyle was too fast to allow this. The hunt continued. Doyle was veering east again, making another try for Arcade. Logan moved quickly to intercept him, riding an express belt to the east edge of the concourse. This should do it. Doyle would walk right into his gun. But he didn't. Something was wrong. It had been a feint. The dot was going down through the complex, heading west, toward Cathedral. Bad. In Cathedral, he would lose Doyle forever, and that wasn't going to happen. Logan put in a call to backup. He tricked me, and I went for it, he told Francis. It's up to you to cut him off at the stone bridge into Cathedral. I'll meet you there. Francis didn't waste time with a reply. He clicked off. Cathedral, a festering sore in the side of greater Los Angeles, an area of rubble and dust and burned-out buildings, a place of shadow and pollution, of stealth and sudden death. Cub Scout territory. If Doyle cleared the bridge, the Cubs would take him. The kill would be theirs, and that was bad for the record. Logan was well aware of Cathedral's blood history, of the runners who never came out, of the muggings, of the unchecked violence. Even the police avoided Cathedral, with good reason. They'd sent in a cleanup squad the previous summer to tame the Cubs. Logan had known some of the men in that squad, Sanson, Bradley, and Wilson 9, all good officers. They'd walked into the jaws of the crocodile, and the jaws had closed. None of the squad survived. You didn't take chances in Cathedral. The express belt broke down at river level, and Logan was forced to take a walkway to Sutton and use the out-ramp. These transit breaks had been occurring more and more frequently of late, and since the Thinker was self-repairing, or supposed to be, there was nothing anyone could do about the situation. When Logan reached the east side of the long stone bridge which fed into Cathedral, he found Francis slumped against the spill wall. "Chop me from behind," he said, rubbing his head. "Your runner's tough." Logan scanned the area. The scope indicated that Doyle was very near. a shadow on the bridge. Logan raised his gun for a shot, but couldn't get a clear view of the man. Doyle kept under the stone parapet, scuttling crab-like across the span, keeping the thick masonry between himself and the gun. "He's over," said Francis. The runner had cleared the end of the bridge and ducked behind the tumbled ruins of a warehouse. But within seconds he reappeared, retreating from a tide of moving colors, quick shapes. "Cubs," breathed Logan. He studied the Cub Scouts. There was something odd and fragmented about their movements as they converged on Doyle. Then he realized what he was seeing. He heard Francis swear softly. "They're on muscle." The small figures moved in a continual blur of motion, darting and flitting like earthbound dragonflies. Where do they get this stuff? Logan wondered. Muscle had been outlawed since the Little War. Originally developed for armed combat, the drug was designed to speed up reactions. It increased a man's strength tenfold, giving him ample time to deal with an enemy. But its action was too violent to control. It forced the heart to do a day's work in minutes. A man lived impossibly fast with muscle in his bloodstream. Only the very young could use it. Logan felt the flesh on his scalp tighten as he watched the incredibly swift boy shapes attack the runner. Under muscle, a stick and a fist becomes a steel hammer, and the swarming cubs were cutting Doyle to pieces. He was on the ground, hands outstretched, to ward off the cubs, but they were killing him. They were all around him in a rippling, weaving circle, and each wet, bone-shattering blow brought Doyle closer to death.